everyone. Welcome to Wine.com Experiences. I'm Gwendolyn Osborne. Super excited you can be here to join us this evening because we are going to be tasting 3 wines from Italy, but more specifically from wineries who are members of the Italian Signature Wines Academy. What is the Italian Signature Wines Academy? So this is an organization that is a collective of family-owned wineries who act as guardians, who can promote and educate about authentic Italian wines. And the 3 wines that we are tasting today are absolutely delicious and wonderful examples of that authenticity. Speaking of the wines that we are tasting, we will be tasting the Bellavista Franciacorta Method Brut from Lombardy, then the Masciarelli Montepulciano d'Abruzzo Marina Svetic Reserva from Abruzzo, and finishing up with the Alegrini Amarone from the Veneto. So if you did purchase this trio of wines from Wine.com, now is the time to get those open, pour them each in a glass if you can. If you don't have the wines, that's okay. We have this trio on Wine.com still available. And of course, this video lives on our Wine.com YouTube channel. So let's bring in our guests and test my Italian pronunciation skills here. From Bellavista, we have Export Director Vitaliano Tirito. From Masciarelli, we have Miriam Lee Masciarelli. And from Allegrini, we have Marlisa Allegrini, who I might also add is president of the Italian Signature Wines Academy. So welcome to you all. Wonderful to have you here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for staying up slightly late to enjoy these wines and tell the stories behind them. I'm thrilled to have you. Ciao. So we're going to start to talk a little bit about the Italian Signature Wines Academy, just to get people who might not be familiar with it to understand. And Marlisa, since you're president of this organization, let's start with you. Maybe you can share a little bit about the mission behind Italian Signature Wines Academy.
Yes, thank you very much to this opportunity to present the Italian Signature Wines Academy and also to introduce the wines that I make. And is an association of producers that we started in 2014. And we are 9 benchmark producers that represent some of the best wine producing area of Italy. And in our mission is to educate consumers around the world and also sharing information in terms of production, in terms of values, in terms of marketing and sales. So we know that together we can bring more value to our company because we have this concept of sharing.
And that's wonderful. And Miriam Lee, maybe you can share a little bit also of what do you see as the benefits of being part of this organization?
First of all, hi. And first of all, I want to say that my father used to say that wine is art, culture, sacrifice, conviviality, but especially friendship. And in this association, we are, first of all friends. So there is many winemakers that know me since I was 4. So that the friendship, first of all, and also, as Marlisa said, we are sharing idea, project, but especially I think we want to promote the Italian brand, not just for each region, but Italian brand. And I hope maybe one day the next step will be European brand.
Yes, no, that is, wine is such a community builder, and it's such a place of friendship and community. So Vitaliano, why is this organization important to Bellavista?
Well, first of all, Bellavista is actually the last one to join the group. So because we joined ISVA late 19, and I'm very proud of this because, we were looking at ISFA from outside, and we were really willing to enter because we could see that the energy was there, you know, a good synergy to promote the Italian wines all around the world. And as Miriam said, that's very important to highlight. We are not only partners in crime in a way, but so we are people that enjoy to spend time with each other. So we basically know each other for more than a decade. So it's a pleasure to spend time together. And we have a good excuse now, one more actually, to go around the world and to you know, spread the culture of high-end Italian wines. I mean, these 9 wineries, they have basically a strong trait in common, that is the pursuit of excellence. So if you visit these wineries, every small details, you know, it's very accurate. So we don't give anything for granted. We work hard to follow anything from A to Z to deliver the best possible experience in the glass. Of course, at the end is the glass that's gonna talk, you know.
Yeah, and that's what you know, these 3 wines I think represent. One, this authenticity, but also you're all leaders of these styles and these wines that you're producing in your region.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
I think
as Marilisa said before, we have benchmarks.
yes, Benjamin.
No, another thing that I want to say is that we all have a beautiful hospitality program.
Yes.
So people that come to visit us can also stay in beautiful places represented like the place where I am now, for example, Villa della Torre. And so people can go to Bellavista, Allegrini, Villa Sandy, etc. So this is an additional value to the quality of the wine that we make.
Yes, because wine is again about being with people and enjoying the time and the experience. And I had the privilege of being where you are, Marilisa, 3 years ago, but also being in other parts of Italy. And the hospitality is
very
amazing, and the food and the wine and just the way of life of Italy. So we are getting there where we're going to come and be able to visit again. So we're looking forward to that. Let's taste some wines. We are going to start with the sparkling wine with you, Vitaliano. So let's get people acquainted with Franciacorta, because I think when people think of sparkling wine in Italy, a lot of times they think of Prosecco, which is a delightful wine also, but the field of sparkling wine in Italy is very diverse, and there's a lot more to it. So would love for you to talk to us a little bit about what makes Franciacorta unique and special.
Sure. Well, I need a seat before talking, if you don't mind.
Yes. Salute.
Well, first of all, Franciacorta is not only the name of the wine, so the denomination is as well a method to produce this wine that is called Franciacorta Method. And then it's as well the name of the region. So Franciacorta is a small area that is with Lago Iseo on the north side, with Val Camonica Mountains and Monte Orfano on the south fence. This is so important. It's actually crucial to make this part of Italy suitable to produce sparkling wines. Okay, so the summer are milder, as well as the winters. So it's perfect Mediterranean climate to enjoy Chardonnay, Pinot Blanc, and Pinot Noir in a Metodo Classico way. So Metodo Franciacorta is very similar to the Champagne method or the Metodo Classico in general. There are just some small details that make the things unique. Yes, we said it's a Metodo Classico, as you said. As you can see from the picture, this is the Riedling area. Everything is still quite artisanal in terms of approach. So all our bottles are riddled by a team of 7 people that every day do this to our bottle. Yeah, that's the remouage moment. Very important for producing high-end wine. The concept here that you need to wait to get a good wine. Okay, to get a sparkling wine that is elegant, long-lasting, and it's got this subtle finish, this caressing finish on the palate. You're not gonna make it, taking shortcut. You need to wait. The wine has to do what has to do in the winery. So in this case, to get this wine at this stage, you need 4 years. So from the harvest until the moment you drink, basically it's an average 4 years of waiting.
Wow, and
so the wine is pleasant.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But you'd also mentioned there's something you do the traditional method. But what else about Franciacorta is unique? I feel like we're going to say something about that.
Franciacorta, if you think about, I think it's when you think about Franciacorta, you probably have to compare a little bit with Prosecco and Champagne in order to get really the idea of what is it. So if we talk about Prosecco, we are talking about an area in the northeast of Italy that is producing around 600 million bottles. Okay, in Champagne you have half of the production, so 300 million. In Franciacorta, you really have a niche product of 17 million bottles, so it's quite small. Okay, the unicity of this wine is in the pleasant of the taste, so it's really a unique experience that no other bubbles in Italy can deliver in a way. No Trento Doc or Alta Langa. Those are unique for something different, but the taste that is so pleasant, so caressing your palate, enjoying, a glass by the other. It's typical of Franciacorta, very Italian style in a way. So Bellavista is one of the pioneers here in Franciacorta. So we started, the family Moretti is here since ever, and they started producing wine since 1977.
Yes, that's my vintage. I'm sorry,
your vintage.
Vintage. I love that. You're as old as me. It's great. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yes. And so, yeah, I mean, you're a benchmark here in this region and have been doing this for so long. I feel like innovating constantly.
Absolutely. Always pushing in order to get better quality. Most of the time, the highest resources are invested in the vineyards because it's where you get the raw material. It's like for a chef. You're not going to make a nice dish without excellent raw material, That's the secret. The ingredients are the secret, of course. And Bellavista is this nice hill that's actually is overlooking the Iseo Lake. So it's the name of the hill. That's where the winery takes the name from.
And speaking of raw ingredients, what is the blend of this? Or is it 100%? So
this is mostly Chardonnay. Yeah, that's mostly Chardonnay. Let's say 80% Chardonnay, 19% Pinot Noir, and 1% Pinot Blanc. The Pinot Blanc, it's of course, this is the traditional mix, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Pinot Blanc. And the Pinot Blanc, even if it's 1%, is very important for us because it comes from a vineyard that is 35 years old. So the vines there are absolutely fantastic. Most of the wine at Bellavista are more Chardonnay based than Pinot Noir. So we always look for elegance more than body and structure. So the structure has to be enough, but the elegance need to go further and further.
Well, let's taste the wine. Tell us what we're tasting. Kind of walk us through it, how it reflects Bellavista and Franciacorta.
So to your vintage.
Yes.
Well, it's quite smooth on the palate, as you can see. Very fruity. Good aromas on the nose, and the palate is so silky in a way. That's what is quite typical of Franciacorta. So this elegant, silky taste on the palate. It's fantastic to go on your own, just an aperitif with some easy food, but it's quite easy as well to match during a meal, during lunch or having dinner. So I know sparkling, it's meant to be like for special occasion or to celebrate, But here in Italy, we are accustomed to start from appetizer until dessert, even with the same wine, because the sparkling, the acidity is everything there. It can handle different kind of food. Of course, we're not talking about a meat wine, but that's why we have Masciarelli and Allegrini, because that's the top for meat,
No, but it's Italy with wine and food is so intertwined. And yes, I always think that sparkling wine is undervalued for its ability to pair with so many different foods, anything salty or crisp and appetizers, everything. So do you have a favorite pairing for this wine?
Well, at the moment, if I have to be honest, I know it's 1:17 a.m., but if I had some, fish tempura, like some squid, I would love to join to match.
Yeah. Or I'm a lover of popcorn with sparkling wine too. I don't know how popular that is.
Sure.
Probably not so much. Add some truffle on it in October, and you're all happy. Well, this is delicious. It has that silky elegance, but it's still very bright and crisp. It's a beautiful representation of Franciacorta. So grazie. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Pleasure.
We're going to move on to some reds. Miriam Lee, we're coming to your family's wine, the Masciarelli, Montepulciano d'Abruzzo Marina Svetic Reserva, named after your mother, correct?
Yes, that's my mother.
Yes. So we're here in Abruzzo. Tell us, if you could, just tell us a little bit about this region and maybe your father's vision here in producing a great wine, because he was such an innovator here.
So actually, Abruzzo, we are the opposite side of Rome. We are just 2 hours driving from Rome on the Adriatic coast. Abruzzo, I always said it's a small treasure kept in secret, because it's not internationally, it's not very touristic and popular like Tuscany, Piedmont, Lombardy or Veneto, but it's very genuine. It's very untouched region, and actually is one of the greenest region that we have in Italy, because it's full of national parks and natural reserve. Also, the winery is located at the feet of the mountain called Maiella, that is more than 2,000 meters high and is under the UNESCO protection. Abruzzo is unique because actually wherever you are 20 minutes far away from the mountain and 20 minutes from the sea. So we are exactly in the middle, the winery, also the vineyards, in the middle between mountain and sea. For example, the 2 days ago, I went to ski on the Maiella mountain. That actually you ski looking the sea, and in the morning, and in the afternoon I was on the beach. So it's very the biodiversity of this region is huge, and it's very unique because it's not a flat region. It's full of hills, lakes, and you have mountain and sea together, very not far away, very close to each other. And
now I know where I want to retire, so thank you. That's where I'm going to move. If I could go ski and go to the beach in the same week, that would be amazing. But your father saw, he was in Champagne, I believe, and then came back and had this vision for your winery, right?
So I always said that my father was a pioneer and a revolutionary man on this region, because he began, actually this year is the 40th anniversary of the winery. Officially it was founded in 1981. And so my father always said that he began without any money, without any heritage, or was a student of an economic school, and he left at the last exam actually, and because he went to do a picture in Burgundy and Champagne, and he fell in love about this world, and he came back to Abruzzo. That actually I said that now it's trendy and cool to be a winemaker, but 50 years ago was not like today. So it's especially in a region that was not so popular. Many years ago, more than 50 years ago, Abruzzo region was famous for a big quantity to sell grapes outside the region. And so it changed completely the method to see the wine, not just to the vineyards, the vinification, and was really a brave project, because even his family was, oh, Gianni, you are totally crazy, you are totally fool, you are not going to be successful, because it was a visionary. So we see what happened in 20 years, and I want to. It actually began with my mother too.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, because I know that when you were 18, sadly, your father passed, but your mother and you and your family have really continued to build and innovate this winery. And so tell us a little bit about how that journey has evolved.
The winery together, because she's half Croatian, half Serbian. She's not Italian. And his grandfather was a cooper. So my father, during the 80s, was looking for barrels in Croatia. But at the end, he didn't buy any barrel, but he fell in love about this beautiful blonde woman. And, this starts the winery together. And also for this wine, Marina Cvetic too, there is a huge story of love behind, because he dedicated a wine to my mother. And yes, 13 years ago, my father passed away. And I think that was not easy at the time, because my mother was alone with the 3 young children. But I think that's a lesson that came to me, that you can be a woman, a businesswoman. Actually, there was at the beginning a little bit of prejudice, because she was a woman and she's not Italian. So, but you fight, never complain. And the biggest lesson for me was it's impossible until you do it.
It's impossible until you do it. Yes, I love that. And it's very true. And yes, and your winery continues to be a family winery that is, again, one of those benchmarks to show how amazing Abruzzo and the wines coming from there can be. So speaking of that, I would love to taste the wine, and perhaps you can help kind of just speak to us a little bit about the classic characteristics of the Montepulciano grape and how that kind of reflects Abruzzo.
So Montepulciano grape is sometimes is confused with the Vino Nobile di Montepulciano.
Yes. First, yes, explain that difference to people. It's confusing.
Completely different wines. So Montepulciano in Abruzzo is a grape. In Tuscany is the name of the village, and the Vino Nobile di Montepulciano is Sangiovese grape. So there is a mistake, but there is 2 different type of wine. And Montepulciano is the most representative grape in Abruzzo, which also include the Rosé Cerasuolo d'Abruzzo. There's something very unique, something different from the other Rosé. And this Montepulciano Marina Cvetic is actually is a selection of 5 different plots that we have on the same village close to the winery. So we own 300 hectares in all the region. So everything is owned by own. And we have a double selection, one during the harvest, one is in the vineyards of the selection of the grapes, and the other one is in the cellar. So the vinification of this wine is separate. And then at the end, we choose will be the best one we want to blend together. And it's
tell us a bit about what we're getting in this wine. That's kind of typical of both those selections and the grape, the aromas people should expect, and kind of the palate feel.
I think this unmistakable scent of fruits, flowers, and spices, and but it's dry and soft and balanced, with a very balanced tannin, with a good acidity too. And so it's a powerful wine, but elegant too. So that's what we want about this wine.
It does. It has beautiful balance. And it's been in my glass for about an hour. And from when I first tasted it to now, it's just really evolved and opened to become almost softer and more expressive. How long do you usually age, or do you recommend people keep this wine when to drink?
So actually Montepulciano, it's a wine, if you are able to, you can drink now, but actually can age for a very long time, even more than 25, 30 years. I used to call Montepulciano Highlander because it's a immortal. Even the color remained the same.
Yeah, well, it is a beautiful wine, and I love it when a wine can just kind of evolve in your glass, and it kind of reminds you, I can keep this a little bit longer too. But beautiful expression of the place, of the region. And you also have, as we saw, a wonderful place for hospitality. So for those who want to ski and go to the beach and drink wine, I feel like you might have found your place. Abruzzo might be it, right? Well, so yeah. Thank you so much for sharing delicious wine. So we're going to finish off with the Alegrini Amarone. And Marilisa, thank you again. Hello. So we're in the renowned Valpolicella region. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about the history behind this region.
Valpolicella is one of the most historical wine producing region of Italy. And in fact, the wine production here dates back to the Roman time. And also the name Valpolicella comes from Latin and Greek. And it means the valley of many cellars, Valpolicella. So this area was known for a long time, and the Valpolicella production works like a pyramid. You have the basic wine, which is the Valpolicella, and then the top of the pyramid is represented by Amarone. And Amarone is also the wine that more than any other have marked the history of this area. So it has become very popular in recent years. My family has been living and making wine here for many years. And in fact, I am proud to represent the 6th generation in the wine business. So we have a very, very long heritage, and the legacy that I received from my ancestor is what I want to give to my daughters and the son and the daughters of my brothers. That's so beautiful. We really feel this family commitment.
And can you tell us a little bit about just, where you are and kind of the Allegrini winemaking philosophy?
So the region is Veneto, and the major city is Verona. We are in the northeast of Italy. Verona is a beautiful romantic city, is the city of Romeo and Juliet. So, and is a Roman, medieval, and Renaissance city. And the countryside that surround the city of Verona, you have the Soave area, so white wine producing area in the east, and in the northwest, you have this area, Valpolicella. And the area is made up of 3 parallel valleys. So in each valley, you have different climate, different soil, and at the end, different flavor in the resulting wine. What makes Amarone very interesting is the process from which it is made. And I like to call, not a technique, I like to call craftsmanship method, because it's a very, very artisanal method. In September, at the harvest time, we go in the vineyard, we select the best grapes, we put the grapes into small boxes, and then we take the boxes to a covered area where they dry for 4 months. So from September until January, the grapes are kept into these boxes. And during this 4 period of drying, the grapes lose from 40 to 50% of the original weight. So this is something very, very unique of the area. And the evaporation of water is the most evident thing that happened to the berries, but in fact, there is an intense metabolic change. So the flavor that we have in the grapes at the harvest time are completely different from what we found at the end of the drying process.
Because you're drying, but then which becomes much more intense, and you take the water away. And that leads to, but it never leads to a sweet wine. So sometimes there are dried grapes made into sweet wines, but this is still a very dry wine, but just with that intense flavor profile. So let's taste the wine, and maybe if you could talk us through just kind of how that is reflected when you taste the wine. You know, what are we getting that comes from that wonderful, amazing process?
You know that I have to talk a little bit about the grape variety. That,
yes, Corvina. Yes, Corvina.
Yes.
So tell us about the grape variety, and then we'll taste.
It's a blend of 3 native grape variety that are cultivated only in Valpolicella, but the most important one are 2, Corvina and Corvinone. And Corvina has 2 characteristics. One is aromas of cherries, and the second characteristic is very soft tannins. So the Corvina vinified at the harvest time, the result is a wine that is fresh, fruity, easy drinkable, but the wine that comes from the drying process is completely different, because you have this aroma of resin that make the wine very unique. Of course, there is high alcohol content, but at the end, in the wine, you have a good balance, because the structure of the wine balance very well the alcoholic content, and also there is very good acidity, very intense acidity. And so there is at the end, you have this cherry note, you have the balsamic note that come from the dried fruit, and then you have roundness and softness because of the dried grapes from which the wine comes from.
Yeah, and Amarone is always fascinating because of that combination of that dried fruit characteristic. I love balsamic. That was not in my mind, but yes, the balsamic, but the softness and yet the structure are just so elegantly combined. So I think Amarone is also known as a wonderful food option in wine. And so what do you recommend for people who want to try Amarone but don't know, or drink Amarone with food? What would your recommendations be?
You know, in the past, the traditional Amarone style was just to drink at the end of a meal. This style of Amarone, I think that goes very well with a wide range of dishes, make with veal, beef, lamb, etc. I love to cook, and one of my signature dish is orange duck or duck à l'orange. And so this is a perfect combination. And Amarone is very, very good also with ethnic cuisine. For example, the Japanese teppanyaki, or some mild Indian curry dishes, and also with, again, Peking duck. And talking about the dish of your country, I think that it goes very well with the ribs, cook very slowly with the sweet sauce.
Sweet sauce. Yes, my husband makes amazing ribs, and so that will be next. Often when I've had Amarone, it's also been offered with a cheese plate, especially hard cheeses.
If you don't like to cook, Amarone is perfect with the Parmigiano Reggiano. This is a perfect combination.
Some cheese, some bread, some Amarone, and everyone's happy. Well, this is beautiful. I did want to ask, though, of just Allegrini, you're the 6th generation. You've been there so long, but I can't help because I had the privilege to visit about where you are sitting right now and the Palazzo Dottore, and kind of, can you tell us a little bit about this place where you are and the large mouth behind you?
Yes, I am here in this villa that belonged to my family, and is a Renaissance villa. So it was built in the 1500, and now is the headquarters of the Allegrini hospitality. So we have people coming here to taste the wine, to enjoy the food. We also have a cooking class here. And the most important architecture characteristic of this villa are these unique fireplace that are designed like face of monster. We have 4 around the different rooms, and they are really beautiful, amazing, and imposing. And I remember when I was a child, I used to come here and I was looking at this monster. I was very fascinated by looking to them.
Yeah, those are interesting and different. So, well, thank you so much for sharing this wine and for Allegrini being here. So I want to thank you all actually for being here, for producing incredible wines, for staying up past your bedtime. It's been a really wonderful tasting, and I'm thankful there's such a great organization like this, the Italian Signature Wines Academy, that can support and promote these authentic family-owned wines throughout Italy. And I don't know, Marilisa or anyone else, if there's anything else you want to add to your wine or just the wines of Italy.
Yeah, I think that what we want to do with the Italian Signature Wines Academy, you know, the last word is academy. So we want to be witness also to the next generation, our kids, but also the young people that want to enter in the wine industry. We want to give them all our knowledge and all the experience that we achieved throughout the years. So we are very proud to have established this group of producers. And of course, we represent the excellence of the region from which we produce wine.
Yes. Beautiful. These were such great, I guess, that authenticity that you're looking for. They were authentic examples of these regions, you know, benchmark wineries that completely or continue to aim for excellence. And so I appreciate you all taking the time to be here and share your wines. And hopefully we'll all be able to visit you and stay with your beautiful hospitality, or your beautiful wineries that have wonderful hospitality. I can't wait for myself to be able to visit Italy again. So salute, chin chin.
Salute.
Salute.
Cheers.
Yes. Thank you, Gwendolyn, and thank to Wine.com to allow us to present our wines to the American consumers.
Yes, we appreciate your time and your beautiful wines.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's both a science and a form of high art. It's made from the combination of grapes, sunlight, rain, soil, and time. It's raised up in the moments that matter. It's wine. And we are Wine.com. We have the largest wine selection in the world, online sommeliers with free advice, and now our powerful new app puts the entire world of wine in your hands. Wine.com. Seriously passionate about wine. Download our free app today.